Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to all listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island All-Stars UK Season 1, Episodes 7-12, Chris. Now, week 2. Where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, I'll tell you what we'll start with, actually, because I know we've got a few people. It was more, in the first episode of the week, we did see the departure of Lewis and Demi because Tyler came in, picked Kaz, and then basically Maya went, see you later, don't want to be here, you're on your way out, bye. And they did do a shock exit, which I wasn't expecting, to be honest, and I'm quite happy with that, Dave, because I know the term All-Stars is being used very liberally in this series, but the fact that they kicked, a Series 1 OG, and then we've got Demi as well from like Series 6 or whatever she was into, 7. I felt that was the right thing, just to throw them out there and bring in some fresh sort of contestants. So, yeah, that was a shock, but I love the reaction of the fake crying and stuff, like someone's obituary or something when they're leaving. It's so pathetic.
Yeah, like they're not all going around on the same circuit, seeing each other all the time. I mean, Chris, I feel like it was hinted at in week 1, but in week 2, I feel like it's really obvious. They all know each other from the outside. They've all met at these different functions or whatever, giving away free T-shirts or whatever it is. It's just, I don't know. It adds a different dimension, doesn't it? When you've got things that have gone on before, it's like the episodes that we've not seen. It throws me off a bit, but I agree. I think getting rid of the two of them. But you mentioned about Tyler picking Kaz. I mean, she seemed like massively surprised by that. And it did seem like a bit of a weird play. I can't kind of work out what Tyler's plan is, because later in the week he goes for Hannah, doesn't he? And I'm just not sure what his game plan is.
I think he was told to pick a Dave. When all the producers have led people down different story things, I think that's why he picked her, because when he picked her, they already started bickering, didn't they? Maya Jama had to sort of step in, and I'm like, well, this is going well. You're not even a couple. You've not seen each other for 2 years. It's not like there's some, unfinished business there. There's a rekindling of passion between you. It was basically like, why have you picked me, you bellend? And it's like, well, I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you. I think you've hit on a point I wanted to make as well, Dave, and I think you've absolutely nailed it. That's what's pissing me off a little bit. It's the fact that it's this... Fucking how I'm even trying to buy into some of these relationships, I don't know. But they all know each other. Is nobody who's been on Love Island allowed to go out with anybody else once they've been on? Is it some weird fucking cult where they've got to go out with fucking a different contestant just on the off chance that they might need it for a storyline? It's a bit like when I watch Towie and everyone goes out with each other off the show. It's like fucking bollocks you do. Honestly, it's like I've watched X on the Beach for years. So you get contestants on Love Island, you get like Geordie Shore, you get like Jersey Shore, you get all these other like TV shows, a Beef a Weekender, and they go on there. And it's like, I went out with him. When? And it's bullshit. And they might have like one picture they've took at a premiere where they're just like hugging or something like, they went out for 3 months. Or sometimes it's like, oh, we went on a date. And it's like, no, you didn't. Celebrities Go Dating or what? I like that show because I love Rob Beckett because Dave, I know you never watched it. He absolutely fucking rinses. He's Ian Sterling, but the X-rated Ian Sterling.
Oh, I love Rob Beckett, to be fair.
Dave, it is a brilliant... I mean, the fucking celebrities are all desperados. That fucking bellend Pete Wicks keeps turning up every episode. Thingy's friend, Sam's friend off I'm a Celeb, but he's on it every series, literally. But however, Dave, I can't explain some of the stuff he says. Even I couldn't say some of the stuff on this podcast. He's that bad for swearing and that. He's absolutely brilliant. But it's like a cult. It's so... It's incestuous almost. They get into Love Island. It's like a fucking religion or something. And it's like, we must not go with anyone else. And I can guarantee, Dave, that the supposed 16 women that fucking Viagra dick Callum fucking is supposed to slept with, they'll all be ex-fucking Love Island contestants because they need it for his storyline, Dave. What a load of bollocks. Can't you just tell one of them's going to come in the villa?
So I don't know. What is it they say? Like if a bloke says a number, it's something like, is it 3 or 4 times less? Probably.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure in Callum's case in that context as well. Because I loved in that game actually where they were saying about. I can't remember what the first question it was, and Callum's like, "Oh, it's a rubbish question. Give me something a bit riskier." And then it's like, how many women have you slept with since you split up with Molly? With this still simmering tension between the two of them. It's like 16. It's like in 6 months. It's like, fucking hell, Viagra dick is right. I mean. Fair dues. I guess, on his little cruises around the Love Island circuit, and I'm sure he's got lots and lots of opportunity, but you can tell Molly was not fucking impressed by that. But do you not remember from season 6? I'm sure he was one of the ones where they do the truth or dare, not the truth game, but, one of the quizzes, and he reckoned he'd slept with over 100 women or something like that. He's only a young bloke at the time. So, yeah, that made me laugh that, again, giving it the old Bertie Big Bollocks, but he soon fucking shut up after that.
Oh, it's fucking brilliant. I mean, I know I've gone off on a time, but what a fucking segue there. Molly's face was like, yeah, we're done. We are fucking done. They were done anyway. We are done, my friend. But anyway, I tell you who would be disappointed.
Before we move off that couple, though, I mean, Molly was starting to really do my head in, to be fair.
Yeah, I've gone off her, Dave, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's just like, look, if you're going to mope around, and the thing is, I couldn't really figure out what she wanted. It was almost like, well, Callum should pick someone else, pick another girl, and then realize that Molly's the one. But whenever they had a conversation, it's just one of those, like, toxic relationships where they can't actually speak and listen to each other. It's just like, look, just fucking let it go. You know what I mean? So she was doing my head in. So hopefully that has drawn a fucking line under it. Otherwise, just leave the villa. It's quite easy. Just say you've had enough. I want to leave. That is it. That is all you got to do. You just won't get any more followers from it.
That's exactly why she came into the show. And she's not the only one, Dave, let's be honest. However, Dave, I've been a bit disappointed with someone who I really was bigging up in the first episode, was Chris, Dave. Now, Chris was great fun when he was in the first time round. Like I said, I watched his other reality show, dead funny, doesn't take himself seriously. And this whole situation with Arabella, I mean, Arabella's just in there for absolute clout, Dave. Like I've just said about like Molly, Callum, they're all in there for the same reason. And she's going to do everything she can. But I felt like the way Chris acted to her, I've taken a step back because we talked about this on the chat, and someone pointed out a very good point about like the way he was. He was just being shitty, wasn't he? And like when Sophie come in, holding her hand in front of Arabella, and I know they're not a couple and he'd done anything, but his reasoning for not being with her, considering he like kissed her and he flirted with her, and then literally 12 hours later, he's like, no, I'm done. I felt that was very bizarre, and it's obviously one of the reasons why he's fucking single, Dave, if he's treating women like that, because he's not come across well this week, I don't think.
No, really badly. I mean, he's shown himself up to be a bit of a fake nice guy, really, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He does the self-deprecating jokes and stuff. He comes off like it's quite funny, and he is quite funny, to be fair, but you can see that obviously when he turns, he can be a bit of a nasty prick, actually. Now, like you say, they're all in there for clout, aren't they? But I found his thing was saying, oh, you know what, I've fancied Sophie for ages, so I kind of want to give it a go. I was thinking, I was still kind of on his side, or not on his side, but I was still thinking, okay, I can kind of get that. But then he ends up like walking right in front of her, holding hands and stuff with Sophie. And I'm like, well, that's not quite right, is it? And it was just a bit weird the way it unfolded. And then The thing is, Arabella said that, it seems like what you said before is a bit disingenuous. Well, Chris, this is like saying Marty McFly's a chicken, it seems. Because that is the one thing that you can't call him, because he just saw red after that. And he's just being a massive prick. And even when, like, Arabella's trying to squash it, she's like, we're in the villa together. He's like, yeah, fine. Yeah. No beef at all. And you can tell that there is. And then sure enough, when the question comes up in the game, I can't remember what the question was, but who's playing a game in here, or I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was? The question, it was basically who's the arsehole of the group.
Yeah.
And then he goes up and kisses Arabella. I'm like, mate, just to keep the peace, you could have just gone for someone else. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I thought it was a bad week for Chris. I thought he showed himself up to be a bit of a tool, to be honest.
Yeah, and I do think he could be going, Dave, the way this is, because...
Sophie doesn't fucking want him, does she?
No, exactly. So, and this is pretty similar to how he ended up leaving in the first place, in the first time he was around, because he was everyone's friend, wasn't he? He's like the entertainer. And I will say, Dave, ITV have done the same thing again, the producing. We've watched the Unseen Bits now for 2 weeks. And, like, I know the games are all bollocks. They all get dressed up as a fucking cop or something with a truncheon. The girls are there, like, dressed like some fucking porn movie. Not that I've ever seen a porn movie, Dave, but I imagine that's what would be in one. And they're all dressed like, like the sussied up and all that, and the blokes are there in the little thongs and all. None of that shit's going on that we've seen. However, in the Unseen Bits, Dave, people like Chris come into their own. They were playing a game last night where they've got pillars and they've got to like go across to one side of the villa just by standing on, the pillars out of the bedroom. It sounds silly, but like a centipede type game, and they're all like having to basically, if you didn't go on the pillar, the team's lost. It's like lava, that game, the lava game sort of thing. And they're doing different things, and it's funny, and they're having a joke and like just being normal people, but all we're seeing is this overproduced, like when they say the voice from above tells them to sit down and do this or directs them a certain way, and that's what I feel is missing. But you watch Unseen Bits, it's a completely different show. People like Toby and that coming across really well, but on the main show, Toby's just being a right dick, like Chris has been a dick. It's so bizarre, Dave, like the way that they do. This is, when you watch like Big Brother, you watch different things, and we've seen it and they go, I mean, the best ever was her off fucking maths, wasn't it? Not
Olivia?
Is it Olivia? The one who said, like, it's the way it was edited. Like, no, it wasn't the way it was edited. There's some things that you cannot blame on editing. However, with Love Island, I feel like the editing takes the personality away from a lot of the contestants, I must admit, or the Islanders.
Yeah, so I think, to be fair, that is where you can say, okay, they took all the bits where I was being a bellend and put them together, so it made it seem like I was more of a bellend than I actually am. That's true. But it's still, in the moments you're seeing, you can actually see that you're being a bellend. Because Toby, I don't think he's had a good week either. I think the way he's treating sort of Georgia initially was a bit shit. But then, he got the fucking Bertie Big Bollocks on as well, didn't he, with Callum? Because Callum had spoken to Georgia and said, apparently, if you guys had worked on the outside, that would have been it. You wouldn't be in here. And he got fucking put out by that, even though it was exactly what he said. But it was bro code, bro. Apparently it was bro code, so he shouldn't have said that. Well, maybe stop saying stupid shit and draw a line under it there. Stop saying stupid shit rather than getting upset at the person who's relaying what you've said. And Mitch was another one. Honestly, Chris, the disdain that I hold for these people. I don't know why I watch this shit, but I do watch it in equal parts love and hate. But Mitch, again, when he's having a go at Anton, and I think Anton's, I warmed to him even more. In season 5, he came in with all the bravado and everything. But then as he got pied off more and more, you're sort of thinking, it's quite funny. But, here he seems more just relaxed, doesn't he? And obviously he is a little bit older than some of the younger lads. And I thought, Mitch, he's just consistently a dick, isn't he? I think he might be the biggest dick that we've ever seen on Love Island. Just purely for being an absolute fucking tool, and having complete lack of self-awareness, despite getting called out, who was it? It was Luke or someone, the guy from Bolton from season 1.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, he literally told him he was a fucking tool. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm probably the only one here who could take it." Oh, you're a fucking dick, mate. And actually, when someone does start to give it you, and you feel like you've got a bit of power, then you get quite nasty back. But actually, you do keep your mouth shut if you feel like you're a bit threatened or whatever. So yeah, fucking Mitch is bellend of the week for me.
And Dave, I'm glad you said that because he's mine. No amount of editing can fucking help him. Just like I said about Olivia, he was an absolute cock. When Anton, and you said about bro code, so Toby had a pop at Callum. Dave, how can you have bro code on a fucking TV show where everything is recorded? There's cameras everywhere. There's things going on everywhere. The producers, even if you're doing bro code, the producers are going to make sure that they find out whether it's the text game, whether it's the fucking, social media, whatever. There is going to be a way that whatever you've said, which will be juicy to the audience, will cause a bit of drama, a bit of an argument, that is going to come out. So, yeah, you're right about Toby, but fucking Dave. And when he had a go at Anton, I'm like, Anton is being such a good person. He looks like he's grown up. He's evolved as a person, doesn't he? Again, fucking Friend Island Day. Just before I start slagging Mitch off, why do the girls pick dickheads, Dave? They're all dicks, aren't they, most of these guys? I mean, Molly with fucking Josh. Josh is the biggest fucking social media fucking reality TV wannabe ever. He's been at it for over 10 years. That's all he knows, this fucking bellend. She's going for him. But then again, obviously she wants to do the same. And you're looking at like Georgia H, it's there with Anton. You can't force an attraction. You can't force that. I get that. Yeah. And a connection. But he's bringing everything to the table. He's a good guy. He spoke well. And when Mitch had a pop at him, yo, bro, yeah. And I'm like, Mitch, you are a fucking cock. And when Lewis and him had that argument, I don't think anybody come off it good either way. I think Lewis made himself look a bit of a dick. However, I sort of wish that I could rewind now and go, you know what? Lewis was fucking right. Mitch is a knobhead. And his reaction, you're right, the double standards, he's not a good person, Dave. Not at the moment. Anyway, and he's a lot of growing up. And as that went on, and he was getting more and more exposed, and he's like, his lad thing. And when he did, I want to talk about Liberty as well, because I think she's been a bit of a sly arse as well. I'm not warming to her at all this series, whereas I really liked her in the first time round. But when he's doing that speech, it was the worst fucking recoupling speech ever. He went, and he looks at the lads and went, "Oh, lads, I'm drawing blanks." Like he's some comedian, like the lads are going to back him up, and they're all climbing on the chair like, fuck me, mate, shut up. The more he spoke, it was so disrespectful for Liberty. Don't get me wrong, Dave. She had the fucking High School Musical fucking basketball outfit. I don't know what that outfit was she had on, Dave. I don't know what was going on there. However, she didn't deserve that. No matter what I'm going to say about her in a minute. And I just thought, he is a knob, Mitch. And I hope he gets absolutely booted off because he's not a good contestant. And I just don't think at the moment he brings the drama, but he's just such a fucking hypocrite that I'm just like, no, we can do better than that. He's just a dick.
But you can see, I think it's the relationship with the guys that he has these weird relationships with women, but it's the interesting one that he's got with the guys where you can tell they all pretty much hate him. They don't actually like him, but he feels like he can stay in there. He's got the stamina. So if he hangs around for long enough, he'll become popular. But he always sort of knows he's on that boundary. So, like I say, if someone like Josh calls him out, he's not going to actually bite back. That's where the stamina comes in. Well, I'll just ride this one out. But when someone like Anton, who is not part of the machismo group, he feels like he can pick on him and he can maybe get some allies as well. And so, yeah, just an utter cock, Chris. And so, yeah, I can't labour that point enough. But you mentioned about Liberty. Chris, I called episode 1. Liberty is going to go for Mitch so that she can play the card that is, oh, woe is me. I've been fucking done by a scumbag boyfriend again. and I'm afraid it's playing out that way.
It is. It's not genuine either, is it, Dave? You know, when Mitch and Anton were having an argument, and she went, "Oh no, what have I done?" And I'm like, "Fuck, your acting's got to be better than that, Liberty." She knows exactly what she's doing, and she also gets involved in shit. You know, when Tyler came in with Kaz, you know, she's there, great, and she's my best mate. Nobody cares, Liberty. Kaz. More than capable of dealing with Tyler, and she did. She might need your advice. She might need a shoulder to cry on, a bit of a chat and everything. That's what friends are there for. She don't need you making yourself the fucking main character again, just sitting there in front of Tyler. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of Tyler. I know he kissed Hannah, like you said before, and all that. That was good for Hannah. She finally, she's made a connection, but I don't believe that he's necessarily all in. But Liberty, as it's gone on, she's just done really strange things. I think she thinks she's the main character of this whole series, Dave. And I know Mitch does, but I think she does because of the success of her. In the last time she was on, she was a media darling. Everyone loved her in the UK, and everyone was basically telling her to get away from Jake, the amount of red flags that was shown there. But this time, for me, it's just she's been really fake. She's only 24. Obviously, Dave, things can change. She can grow up. But for the purpose of the show, I'm not buying what she's fucking selling at all at the moment. I don't believe any of it.
No, and like I say, it just comes across that, you know, whether she's got there on her own or she's been advised, you know, this is the public perception of you, you know, so you need to kind of play up to that, you know, and get more popular that way. It just strikes me as that fake because people aren't like that. People aren't two-dimensional, you know, and so I was just a bit disappointed, Chris, to have called that one right, if I'm honest. You know, I'd said that was my prediction, but I was kind of hoping I was wrong. But yeah, that's playing out because who can watch that season where Mitch was on and come away thinking, yeah, it's boyfriend material, that.
I know.
I mean, he was a massive dick to the girls. He was a massive... How Zach didn't fucking lamp him one, I'm not sure, because, you know, he kept getting caught out, didn't he, with his lies and stuff. And you know, Zach was about a foot taller than him. I just think that... I don't know. Again, he just sort of hung around long enough, didn't he, in that friend group? And he's like, "Oh, you're my man. You're my bro," kind of thing. It's like, oh, fuck off, you prick.
Yeah, I'm with you. Absolutely with you. I think. I mean, to be fair, what got me with Liberty was when he was talking to Arabella, and I'm like, Arabella, get away from him. You know, and then, but she was making it out, Liberty, like it was like when Eden, you know, when Erin got stolen from Eden. And, you know, in that Aussie one, and he went mad because they were a proper couple, weren't they? Like, they were like basically boyfriend, girlfriend. They were sleeping together, everything. And the Teddy came in and just stole her away. And that happened in series 2 of the UK one, Dave. I know we've not seen that, but Scott Thomas and, she was in the last series. What's she called? She was in the last UK one, came in as a bombshell, Dave.
I don't remember these dead legs, Chris.
All right, sorry, yeah.
I remember some of them, but not many.
She's the older one, Dave. She was 27, but she fuck.
A whole 27, eh?
Katie. That was it, Katie. She was in the last series.
Oh,
but yeah.
I said a name I
barely
remember. I do remember now that you've said it, but
yeah. Sorry,
I'd have been here all day, to be honest.
People were screaming at the phones now. Chris, you dick. You're supposed to know Love Island. But yeah, I don't know, Dave. I'm with you. I'm watching it, and I'm hoping, you know, we're at the halfway point now. Well, we're going into the halfway point. It's on for 5 weeks. I'm hoping that something's got to change, because I think what's happening is they're all fully aware of the assignment of drama, of kicking off. They know what sells, what will make them in the public eye. The little rendezvous on the fucking terrace, the kisses, you know, the little bit of indecision, the looking over the shoulder, the cheating, things like that. That's what makes Love Island and makes the audience and social media go crazy. We need a pantomime baddie. We need all this thing. They're so aware of it. And I think as much as at times we watch it, we go, oh, fuck me, here's another bunch of desperados. We know nothing about them. These people who are on this, one way or the other, whether you've watched it from the start of series 1 or not, me and you have come across various people in this show that you go, oh, they're just blagging it here. They're not being genuine, whatever. You know, that's what I'm going to struggle with, Dave. I mean, if Davide and Ekin2 come in, fuck me. I mean, they're still together. Sam said they broke up and it was fake and they're back together. Up. I think Sam said they were, I was talking about it yesterday, but I think she said it was fake and they're back together, Dave, and all that. But all we need is fucking Ekin2 to come in, Dave, you know, pretending she's still fucking 27 or whatever fucking bollocks she says she is. And happy day, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's see, Dave. So anything else, Dave, before we go?
No, I agree with your sentiment. I'm interested where it goes. I guess we haven't sort of spoken about it. Obviously, there's this thing with Toby and is it Georgia?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I watched the first episode of Love Island Games, and I'm assuming this all happened on that. But it's becoming like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, isn't it, Chris? If they start all these fucking spin-off episodes, I'm not gonna. I don't have the will to keep up with their relationships on this. You know, I don't want to have to watch all these side issues and stuff. I kind of. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, you know, to see some familiar faces, you know, and see where they are and stuff. But I think the cynicism meter is just a lot higher with this, you know, because, like I say, you know who they are, or at least who they were on that season, but they've just been playing off that ever since. And so they're just back to get back in the public eye for a bit. So, you know, is there actually anyone who's even remotely, I always say, you know, there's less than 1% that we cling on to that someone's here for quote unquote the right reasons. But I mean, there's no one here, is there?
No, not at all, Dave. Not at all. Even when you said Mitch said it in the first ever, I'm looking for love. Yeah, because we all go on reality TV looking for love. Fucking, even my mum, your dad, is a hard one to convince me, Dave. But that's worked. These people still together. So let alone Love Island. But no, thank you, mate. Really good. And I know it's a hard slog doing all this stuff. And we have just finished the traitors, but we won't talk about what's on the horizon, Dave. But anyway, if you do want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media @cdrealitycast, please get over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Come and join us over there, guys. We've raced 700 friends over there. He's on, so we're not far off now. So please get over and come and join us. And all the series links and chat. The Facebook chat is brilliant with all the various different shows in there. Plenty of spoilers in the chat though, so be aware if you're not caught up. But on the front page, all the episode links are there from our friends if you're outside the UK. So we do appreciate that. And if you're outside the UK and you want to watch it on, say, the iPlayer, which is the Traitors, or ITVX for Love Island, we do have an affiliation with NordVPN, which is in the show notes as well, guys. It gets you a bit of a discount. So please get over there if you do want a VPN. If you want to support us as well, get over to patreon.com/CDRealitycast. We do thank everyone who supported us past and present. So the roll call of honour for today is a big thank you to Ken Gustafson, Lucky Lula Green, Lauren Hennessy, Susan Didi, Katie Libby, Joanna, Noreen, Chloe, Helen, Keith, Gillian, Zoe, Maggie, Cassie, Fiona, Emma, Nicola, Helen, Larissa, Amanda, Kim, Nicola, Danielle, Andrea, Sims, Katja, Jesse, and Sinead. So thank you so much. And Didi as well. So apologies, Didi. I always miss you off there. I've got my glasses on, Dave. So it's getting worse and worse now as I'm getting older. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. And everyone who supported the podcast over on Patreon, past and present. We really appreciate it. And there is the option to support us as a free member as well. So get up to Patreon, the more the merrier. Come and have a look over there.
Absolutely amazing, mate. And I forgot, it's fucking Sunday, isn't it? So we've got another episode tonight. Fuck a doodle do. Fuck my life. Right. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.